Hey guys, EG Lately here, and boy, has a lot happened since the last time I posted. I wrote a book. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't write a book. I'm not really a book writer. Anyway, Blair has responded to a podcast that was made by some of the liberals on the panel, and sure enough, the podcast is everything you'd expect it to be, and then some. The sheer balls on some of these people, literally. I mean, some of them literally still have balls to talk about and say what they say in this podcast. It's going to make your head scratch. It's going to be a head scratcher for sure. We're going to be scratching our heads until our hair is gone and we got nothing but a bleeding scalp, because that is the kind of talking points they use in this podcast. With that said, I want to say thank you first and foremost to everybody who watched my last video. I'm a small YouTuber, like a really, really small YouTuber. So just to get that kind of support really fueled my fire to keep going and make more videos. With that said, let's jump into the podcast and see what's going on, see what's transpired, see what Blair's reactions are to that. Blossom claims she has a lot of receipts. Well, guess what? I have some receipts too. What are they? Let's find out. All right, first and foremost, Shane, why are you wearing sunglasses inside, my dude? Not a good look. I mean, I know they say the sun never sets on a badass, but there's nothing badass about you. Also, why are you the host of this show? You are like ambient, dude. Your voice makes me just want to go to sleep. Anyway, let's see if maybe he surprises me and has a bit of an energetic intro or anything that might make me feel somewhat intrigued by anything that this guy has to say. Because honestly, in my last video, I just skipped him because it was just so boring. Everything he said was just so boring, and just there was no controversial topics whatsoever. It was just like it was like flatline. If he was a heartbeat, he would just be like all right, anyway, let's go see what these guys have to say for themselves. And if I find a spot to interject, I will interject with some of Blair's commentary for her reaction to this. I don't want to post too much, though, because I ain't trying to get copyrighted, all right? I ain't making no money on YouTube, but you know what? I still like my content being somewhat original, if you get what I'm saying. All right, enough of me. Let's hear from Shane. Maybe Shane has something interesting to add. I'm going to skip his intro because it's nonsense. There's no reason to listen to his intro.
My name is Shane Ivan Nash. It's my first time hosting, and I've got some surprises for you.
Yeah, you got some surprises. Are they really surprises when you literally just showed them? I mean, I know it's your first time hosting. Lord knows that my stuff sucks. But like, look at your studio already. You got a whole studio, and you're wearing sunglasses inside. All right. Looks like we got to get on Shane's level for this. I'm Shane now. We got to lean back in our chair. Look at me, man. I'm Shane. I'm so cool. This is like straight up amateur hour. Straight up amateur hour. But I gotta admit, I look awesome in these sunglasses. So I'm just trying to get on Shane's level. So let's see what Shane has to say. Maybe these guys will surprise me and they'll have nothing but incredible facts that will change my mind about everything they ever said ever.
Welcome to the Spit Roast, Kiki. How you doing?
The Spit Roast. What were we laughing about again? What? Why are we laughing? Did anybody say anything funny? I don't know. We're just laughing. We're just laughing for the. We're just. Oh, I don't know. I hate my life.
Nervous.
Nervous?
Allegedly.
What are you nervous for? Allegedly.
Allegedly nervous.
So, something happened this week, I'm sure.
Yes, you wore sunglasses inside, but I'm starting to come around on it, so I might let Shane pass on this one.
I think we want to debate.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, we are the winners of, let's see, a debate called Jubilee.
Does anybody actually think they won this debate? They brought 0 facts, they brought 0 receipts, they brought 0 intelligence, and Alexander brought 0 fashion sense. Burn.
Jubilee middle ground, trans conservatives versus trans liberals.
She's got to be trolling at this point. I think she's just trying to gain a reaction out of like conservative members. She knows she got her butt slayed. Like, she got bent over. No, we're not going to go there. But let's just say that if she was a toddler, she would have got spanked and her butt would be very red. Wait, I don't know if that works on a black person. Anyway, who cares? Enough of me. Let's get back to this train wreck of a podcast. I'm just gonna laugh because I don't even know why I'm here. I don't even know why I'm here. Look at me. Look at Shane. Shane's just leaning back. He's so cool. Like, he's so cool. Look at them acting so confident. No, but seriously, why are this is like the biggest troll thing ever. It's like they're just doubling down on being villains at this point. Like, they know that everybody hates them on the internet. They know they got their butt kicked. I mean, I don't know though. Blossom really isn't intelligent enough. She might actually think she won that debate. Like, she was literally throwing out like poop at the wall, and she was like, "Wow, a lot of my poop stuck to that wall." I hate to break it to you that none of her poop stuck to that wall. All that poop was just dripping down in a nice, ugly, gooey, smelly. It was diarrhea poo, so it didn't stick. It just kind of rolled down and onto the floor. Yeah, no. This is 110% a troll move.
You know.
Well, tell me a little bit more about that, Blossom. What happened this weekend?
Yeah, I think history was kind of made a little bit. We brought over our community that usually doesn't support that platform or usually doesn't watch that platform because they wanted to see trans and non-binary people actually being able to face off with each other about the issues that affects us.
Yeah, and I'm sure none of those people came because Blair White was there. I'm sure none of them people I'm sure Blair White had absolutely nothing to do with all the people that came and watched that Jubilee episode. They were all there for Blossom and Alex, and definitely there for Shane because Shane is just the most electrifying man in YouTube entertainment. The guy radiates charisma. You know what I'm saying?
And being able to do it in a way.
Look at that. Just so cool. So calm, so collected. The guy should have been a WWE star. I mean, look at that. He's like The Rock, the most electrifying man. The millions and the millions of the Shane's fans.
Where we all have differences of opinion and just different political views and all of the things. And
all of the things, basically all the stuff that I don't remember. Like, I remember they put me in this room, right? They put me in this room and they said debate. And I said, what's the topic? And they said trans. And I said, okay, I know a lot about trans. And then I just proceeded to tell them nothing I know about trans stuff. I just kind of just said whatever came into my mind. And then I told everybody they were racist. So that was my experience. But I won that debate. I definitely won.
I believe, like, as a trans activist, it could be a little minute because there's a level of complicitness in our community where
none of those words go together. It was a little bit minute because of some of the complicity. I think that Blossom just says words that she thinks sounds good but doesn't really know the meaning of and hopes that like she's right. But minute is like small details, and complacency is like being content in what you're doing. And I don't see how either of those go together. I could be wrong. Maybe Blossom's schooling me or something, but
we feel like we have to hold these type of issues.
I don't think she is.
Ourselves because we don't want to ruin the trans experience. We don't want to ruin the trans movement. But we were the ones that broke through that. And the amount of cis people who tuned in to watch trans and non-binary issues this morning when I looked at the YouTube video.
Yeah, because it was a train wreck. We'll say Blair White taught me more about the trans community in that 3 hours than I ever knew before. Blossom taught me absolutely nothing. She taught me what it was like to go into a debate and absolutely lose terribly.
At the 21st hour, it had over 447,000 views. Literally within the first 24 hours.
Because they were there for Blair. Blair's got 1 million followers, dude. What are you not? She's trying to claim that it's her who brought all these people. It wasn't. It definitely wasn't Alexander. I mean, look at that hat. What is he, a mime? Come on.
History here. It was one of the most intense, controversial conversations, but we're doing it.
Well, yeah, Blair's doing it for sure. And you're making her look really good. Like, you're making her look like the smartest person on the planet. Then again, to be fair, anybody who talks to Blossom probably would look like a genius, because as long as they say anything that makes any kind of resemblance of sense, they already beat her. I really think that Jubilee brings her on there because they know that she's just going to make good content, because she's like so clippable, because she just says absolute, complete, and utter total nonsense the whole time. All right, I'm taking these glasses off. Shane, nobody wears glasses inside, bro. Nobody wears glasses inside. Stop it. And what's with the lean back? Like, you look like you're so stoked. I think Shane's just happy he's got some, like, popularity. I don't think that he actually feels like he won, because from what I heard in the debate, it did sound like he somewhat had a grasp of common sense. But this is all like new Shane. This is villain Shane. This is Shane, see yourself long enough to become the villain Shane. You're not the hero. You live long enough to see yourself as the villain. I think they're just all embracing their villain personas now.
Yeah.
Those shoes got to be
Yeah,
killing
I was also a
Alex's feet.
participant in this, let's call it I would call it a situation. To be honest.
You totally stole that from Mike the Situation from the Jersey Shore. I mean, it was a situation. No, it was, but it wasn't from Blair or the conservatives. That was, you guys all brought the shit to that one.
Honest. I know lots of you said that we won, but I feel like really nobody fucking won this thing.
No, that's wrong. Blair won. Blair and Sarah and Andrew and I'm sorry, I can't remember the other person's name. Forgive me, crazy auntie lady. But Blair definitely won this. You guys definitely lost, and you look terribly bad, so it might feel like nobody won this debate, but Blair, Sarah, and the conservatives totally won this debate, and I think that's only good for the trans community, because people are getting a chance to see that, not all trans people are crazy, and some of them are very sane, and some of them are genuinely living in the wrong body. You, on the other hand, I still am not sure what you're doing, bro. I have no idea what you're doing. Like, I don't know what is this outfit? What is it?
Thing at the end of the day, because there's a few things that I want to address about this whole situation, but one thing I wanted to make sure that people really understand is as you're watching this Jubilee episode,
as you're watching me make a total fool of myself, is I looked good and my makeup was great.
or middle ground episode, there's some history actually between Blair and I.
Is there? Well, let's go find out what that history is. I told you I was bringing receipts, guys. I'm bringing the receipts. Let's go find out what that history is.
In the past, essentially reposted one of my posts that I created. It was an educational post, and bullied me and then blocked me.
So there are several words in Alexander's statement here that are exceptionally wild for him to be using. The first is the word history. The word history implies that we've had some sort of interpersonal relations, or
Yep.
we know each other, or
That's what I would imagine.
something really transpired between us on a personal level, right?
Yep.
What he means by that is that I publicly reacted to a public TikTok on trans issues that he did, as someone who publicly reacts to trans news, trans issues on an almost daily basis.
Which a lot of people do. A lot of people react to TikToks. I react to TikToks before. I don't really use TikTok much more because I just feel like it's kind of dangerous because they can get access to all your stuff. Actually, I lie. I am on TikTok at EG lately. Follow me.
There is no surgical intervention happening to transgender children to change their sex. This is simply not happening. Here are the actual facts. Facts. Medical professionals are not giving puberty blockers to children who have not reached puberty.
Hello, random, passionate, but completely stupid person. This is Jazz Jennings, who had a full surgical sex change at 17 years old, puberty blockers at 11, and this is only the most famous case, right? This is only the one that had an entire reality show documenting it. Try to keep up, babe.
Oh, first off, I just want to say, Blair, you looking good, girl. 2022 was a good year for you. And secondly, wow, Alexander, she just took you to school, brought you back home, and didn't give you a lunch. That's all I'm going to say. She sent you to school, picked you up, brought you back home, sent you back to school, and then denied you a bagged lunch. That's what Blair just did. Talk about getting owned, bro. Talk about getting owned.
We're on to your bullshit. You can't just lie because you can't defend yourself. Get it together.
He can't defend himself.
And by the way, other than not even trying to be mean here, other than the outfit that he was wearing and the look that he was presenting himself with being shocking, no other context did I have about him going into that debate, because I genuinely, swear to God, did not remember reacting to his TikTok. Now,
All right, she says in the bottom, considering I've reacted to hundreds, if not thousands, of TikToks from people who look similarly and say the exact same things in that video. Damn, Blair, straight savage, still savaging it up over here. God, I love this woman.
now I do. But walking on that set, I did not recognize him at all.
Yeah, how could you? I mean, the dude was dressed like a clown. Like, she clowned him, but it's okay because he was already dressed like a clown.
So why you think that I, as a trans commentator, that's not fair game for me to correct with you spreading literal misinformation about what's happening in the world as it relates to trans issues and children? Wild. To call that bullying is wild, as someone who puts my opinion out every day. And I definitely don't resort to saying that I'm being bullied when people react to it, critique it, even harshly, or even send a real hate, right? You know, Alexander, you're a man in his mid to late 40s.
Oh, mid to late 40s. Yes.
The idea that that constitutes as history is not exactly what I would call history.
Nope, I wouldn't call that history either. I would call that getting owned via social media.
Number two, the word bully is very wild to be using from someone who resorted to calling me disgusting multiple times on set, who ganged up on one person on set, which was me. And I want to make one thing clear. Just because I'm calling these people bullies, which they objectively are, they meet the definition about as perfectly as anyone I've ever seen.
They are
Just
bullies.
because I'm calling them bullies doesn't mean I'm saying that I was bullied, because the real problem and the reason they got so crazy and unhinged was because they finally met someone they couldn't bully, which was me.
That's true. I mean, think about it. When Blossom's back was against the wall, she pulled the race card because that's all she had left. Alexander just literally straight up started calling Blair names. Why, you ask? Because they were getting straight owned during that debate.
So they can be bullies, because they are, doesn't mean I was bullied, right? And then the next word we have to address in his statement is the word blocked, because that is the blatant lie of the statement, which is that I blocked him. First of all, I don't have TikTok to block you on. I don't have an account. I've been banned for years, right?
Chinese people do not like trans people. That is a fact. So if we're going to go with giving out facts right now, Chinese people, like, Disney has to get anything that is homosexual in their movies before they send them to China, because Chinese people just will not watch it and they will not air it if it is not classic traditional films. So again, Blair, point for Blair. I'm not even keeping points, because if we were going to be doing a point system, it would just be all the points Blair, negative points everyone else, except for the other conservatives.
TikToks I react to in my podcast, I have a producer who sends me those. And from what I know, he gets those off Twitter.
So he's not. So that was probably on libs of TikTok, and she replied. So she didn't even come across his stuff. So someone sent that to her and was like, "Yo, check out this clown." And Blair was like, "Oh, that's an easy video to reply to. Why not reply to it?"
And then as far as Instagram, I actually went to your page and you have me blocked. So not only is that a lie, it's the exact opposite.
Wait, can I block somebody and then tell everybody that they blocked me? Can I do that? Is that something that is doable nowadays? Yeah, like, I'm just gonna be like, block you and be like, oh my god, that person blocked me. They can't handle the heat that is EG lately. They can't handle it. They blocked me, and they're gonna find out just how cruel I can truly be. I don't know. I'm just ranting. Let's get back to Blair. Blair looking good as always.
She needs to be more aware.
All right, we got to go back to. So that's another point for Blair. All right, she straight up just tore apart Alex's whole entire argument right there.
To be honest, like, who wants to sit there in front of bullies, in front of any bully? Like, I don't want to.
Oh, who doesn't want to, who wants to sit there in front of bullies? I know, exactly, right, Alex? Who wants to sit there in front of bullies? I'm sure Blair didn't want to sit there in front of you guys while you guys all ganged up and bullied her. Just the absolute hypocrisy these people have. Like, they're living examples of ignorance is bliss. Ignorance truly is bliss, because look how happy they all are, and pretty much all of society has said that they are dumb as hell.
Entertain any bully. And I feel like by being there, I was entertained.
Okay, if anybody can give me an example of how they were being bullied by Blair, I would love to hear it in the comment section, because as far as I could tell, she was just correcting his misinformation. Did she need to call him stupid? Well, yeah. He's trying to tell people to turn a blind eye to kids getting surgically enhanced at a young age when those kids have no business getting changed that early.
And this is behavior that I just don't generally entertain. And then it made me look like a bully because of all the context that was missing against Blair. But in reality, she has been the bully this entire time. And, you know, there's a difference between her and I. Is that
yeah, she's awesome and you're a moron. That's the difference. Yes, she is intelligent and articulate, and you kind of just say things and hope that people don't call you out on them. That's the difference between you and Blair.
content that I create because I'm a content creator.
I'd hardly call that content creation, telling people that nobody's getting hormone blockers when they clearly are, dude. Okay, back to the video.
And you can follow me on Instagram at alexander.tries, ALEXANDER.TRIES.
If I were you, Alex, I would not be telling people how to get in contact with you. I don't think it's going to go the way you expect it to. I think you're mostly going to get hate. Just be forewarned. You're probably going to get a lot of hate because what you're trying to promote is dangerous, and a lot of people are very upset about it. I don't know if you think that you're going to get a whole bunch of new followers. You might. Guess what? They're all going to be finding reasons to dislike you rather than follow you for whatever it is that you content create for.
Follow me. But so we're both content creators, but the difference is that I don't need to put other people down to get my point across. Her brand is to be this person, is to be a mean girl.
Isn't this the guy who said you're disgusting to Blair? Like, am I forgetting that?
More appropriate and more fitting.
Wow. You're so offensive. You're an offensive person, human being. Yeah.
Okay.
Just so
Well,
you know.
I find a lot of things over here offensive as well.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're disgusting.
And I have to.
No, I'm not forgetting that. He definitely said she's disgusting. So he does have to put people down to get his point across, because that's the only thing people remember him for, is calling Blair disgusting.
She calls herself everybody's favorite controversial trans woman, or whatever it is that she calls herself.
Everybody loves Blair.
Fine. I think we can actually coexist in this world, but, you know, she needs to be more aware of the harm that she's causing to people that she doesn't know anything about.
And what harm is Blair causing? If anything, she's standing up for people before they even know they're making a mistake. Like, I just don't get it, Alex. I don't understand what you're trying to say here. Blair does more good than you have ever done. Like, yeah, you might do makeup tutorials or whatever, and you might say some dumbass stuff on TikTok, but Blair has gone out there and makes sure that what she's telling people is legit truth and facts. You just say what the narrative you're told to say is.
So
Alex is a perfect example of a corporate shill.
Some would call that terrorism.
Are you really going to call her a terrorist, bro? Blair had to have responded to that part. I got to see.
And then as far as Instagram, I actually went to your page and you have me blocked. So not only is that a lie, it's the exact opposite.
She needs to be more aware of the harm that she's causing to people that she doesn't know anything about. Some would call that terrorism.
What? Are you seriously going to sit here and call Blair a terrorist? Like, I don't understand how you could possibly sit there with a straight face and say that Blair White is a terrorist. Have you not seen Hamas, especially with what is going on in Israel right now? That is true terrorism. 9/11, true terrorism. The Oklahoma bombing, terrorism. Like, Blair telling you that you're wrong about a topic, not terrorism. And the fact that you could sit there with a straight face and say that makes you absolutely abhorrent, dude. And I'm sure Blossom doesn't know what abhorrent means, but it's not good. It's not good. Alex, you are truly embracing your villain character, and it doesn't look good on you. I don't think you'd be a good hero, too. But at least if you're going to dress like that, come with some facts so people can have a little bit of respect for you. Like, that right there really upset me. Like, I know I like to come in here and have fun and make fun of these people and cheer for Blair or whatever, but you can't be going around saying stuff like that. Absolutely disgusting behavior by this dude. Just all around, just gross behavior, saying that Blair is a terrorist. It's just terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Blair had to have responded to that part. I gotta see.
I am going to really make sure that I am not being too hyperbolic with what I'm going to say to that.
I like that she's kind of collecting herself ahead of time to kind of like be like, all right, I need to make sure that I don't say anything that I'm going to regret. That shows you the level of balance and confidence and control that Blair has compared to Alex, who clearly is just saying the dumbest things imaginable, hoping to gain a reaction or something. He's basically trying to rally the haters of Blair, which I don't know how many people could go around hating Blair, aside from the people who want to see kids get chopped up at a young age.
Here. And I'm going to reel in what my gut says to say because I don't want to throw a cheap shot at you right now.
What a classy move. Absolute class right there. Take notes, Alex, Shane, and Blossom. This is how you approach a negative conversation. This is how you approach a divisive topic and a conflict with grace and class.
But to use the word terrorist to describe me, given what's going on in the world right now.
Yep, exactly.
To say that is the definition of tone deaf, I would say. But, I mean, read the room. Like, that is the last word I would use to describe someone reacting to my public TikTok.
Well, this is the first time I might disagree with Blair because Alex was reading the room, and that room is toxic as basically. Like, Alex could say, you know what, I heard Blair has herpes. And I don't know whether or not Blair has herpes. She probably don't. But just saying that, all the people would be like, yeah, I heard that too, because they're in an echo chamber. That little podcast room is just a little echo chamber, them all patting each other on the back, telling each other how great they are. She could have said anything. She'd be like, I heard that Blair is the Joker from Batman. It's based on Blair. And they'd be like, yeah, I heard that too, because that's the kind of people they are. But it's not good. Nobody responded to that podcast positively. They're getting roasted in the comment section, and rightfully so.
But anyway, so that's that. The second thing I want to address that I really want to make sure is said about, is talked about, is that I was asked on the episode what I am dysphoric of. You don't ask people those kinds of questions.
Yeah, because you don't have an answer, because you don't know what to say. You're doing this for attention. Everybody's clearly aware of that. If you are dysphoric, then I'm sorry that you feel that way. I think you're just a really confused person. I think that you're an extremely confused guy. I don't understand why you can't ask that. Everybody else clearly had no problem talking about that. This is just his way of trying to act like he's offended again, because if there's one thing we know about these three super lefties is that they are the victims. Everybody, victim number one, victim number two, victim number three, right here. Blair is a warrior and wants to thrive and doesn't claim victimhood. She wants people to empower themselves. That's the difference between these two. These three people walk around telling everybody how sorry everybody should feel for them, while Blair's like, don't feel sorry for me. I'm confident in my body. So tell me again, who should you follow? Who would you want your kids, if your kid was going through this, would you rather them follow Blair, or would you rather them follow these three stooges?
You don't ask trans people, even if you are trans, if you don't know each other, this is none of your business.
Look, his earrings are even trying to escape.
I struggle to answer that question
because I don't have an answer. That's why I struggle. I met a whole bunch of people who got a lot of attention for dressing up provocatively and scandalous, and I was like, I want that clout. Like, I want to be like them. I don't care if I'm stealing someone else's actual identity or someone who actually struggles with this mental health disorder. I just want to be able to get my name out there and get that clout.
Because at that point, when I was asked that, it was almost a moment of like, if I say what I am dysphoric about, it's out there and it's no longer private. It's no longer mine.
That's how you help people, though. Like, that's what you don't understand. You sharing your story is how you help people. You're being selfish right now. You're being selfish by not sharing your story that could help others. When I was a drug addict, sharing my story with other drug addicts helped that drug addict and be like, hey, bro, you're not alone. Look, this is what I went through. This is how I overcame my demons. Alex is trying to keep that stuff all to himself. Like, that's fine. If you want to keep that stuff all to yourself, that's fine. But don't act like you're out here trying to help everybody.
And I felt really pressured. Like, honestly, like, I'm even getting emotional. I felt really pressured to even talk about my facial feminization surgery at that point.
Because you didn't even know that you were getting it until Blair called you out on it. That is why you're even getting it in the first place, because you have to commit somehow to this act that you're putting on for everybody to see. Like, at least Blossom knows who she is. At least Shane knows who he is. Alex, you're a malleable gummy. You're like Gumby, bro. You're like Gumby. You can like stretch your arm out. You're like Stretch Armstrong. Anybody can maneuver you and mold you as long as it goes to whatever you want. You don't make a decision for yourself. You can't. Guarantee the people around you made you this way. I guarantee you that wasn't you. That wasn't your idea.
And I want people to understand that that question was not okay. I have dysphoria, and it's none of y'all's business what it is.
Because guess what? I don't even know what it is. That's why it's none of your business.
Until I decide it is. And if I never decide it is.
Because I need to go out and I need to find something that's good. And I need a good story to tell. That's why I'm not going to tell you until I decide. I need to get with some writers. I need a creative team to come up with a good story that's going to really make me look like a real true victim here. That's Alex for you, everybody.
Then it never is. So that's what it is. So I wanted to make sure that people understand that. And to me, that's the equivalent of asking, any other trans person if they've had bottom surgery.
I mean, is that something you're not allowed to ask? Alex is so separated from who he really is. Like, if anything, this guy is suffering. So he is not the person that you look to for answers. This guy has no idea who he is. No clue. He's trying on different things. I wouldn't be surprised. It took him till he was 40 to realize that he wants to dress like this. And he only figured it out by watching other people. He was probably just a regular gay man before that. He was like, I need that clout. In a world where social media's king, I need something I need a shtick. I need an image. I need something that snaps,
Or things like that. It's just not okay. It doesn't matter who you are, whether you're trans yourself. You don't ask people that question. That is invasive and disgusting.
Here we go with this disgusting thing. Is that like the only word he knows? Is I'm disgusting. You're disgusting. You're disgusting. Everybody's disgusting. Except for me. I'm not disgusting. I'm the exception to the rule because look at my hat. Yeah, I look like a mime, but so what?
And actually, another point.
Oh my God. I am about to slay. Here's a good point. This one's really going to hit home. I promise you. I guarantee it doesn't.
That I forgot I was going to make. I did call Blair disgusting.
Yeah, because he just said disgusting. So he remembers it. And now he's like, I did call Blair disgusting. Yeah, 500,000 people saw you call Blair disgusting. And they said that you were dumb for that. And that you're disgusting for saying that.
I know that. I shouldn't actually have called her disgusting.
Yeah, no crap, bro. You shouldn't have because it was debate about topics. It had no reason to get to a personal level.
But did I feel it at that moment? Yes.
Why? Because she called you out? You already hated her beforehand, probably because someone showed you the video of her correcting you when you were trying to push a dangerous agenda.
Was she being disgusting at that moment?
No. I'm not even going to let him say it. No.
Yes.
No.
Should I have called her disgusting? Probably not. It wasn't my best look.
No, it was not a good look. You didn't have any good looks throughout that whole debate, dude. The only good thing that Alex said was that he was open to change. That's it. That's probably the only thing in that entire debate where it made sense. It was the most grounded thing he said was that I'm open to new ideas and changing.
Honestly, that entire podcast wasn't really my best look. Was I being my best?
It wasn't a podcast, dude. It was a debate.
No. Why? Because I was put into a situation in a boiler room, just like we all were.
Yeah, but you go in there and you still handle yourself with class and respect. It doesn't matter how intense the debate gets. You're there to debate topics, not debate who people are and what their worth is.
We were put into a boiler room with these prompts that these directors knew were going to be extremely controversial.
Yeah, because that's what it's called, middle ground. It's about talking about controversial topics. I'm sorry, I'm going to be pausing this a lot because I just have a lot to say. The sheer balls on these people, man. I mean, Alex literally has balls, but you get what I'm saying. Blossom has balls too. I don't think Shane does. I think Shane's got a JJ, but I don't know. I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it.
Signed up for it, so I'm gonna stand by what I said. I said what I said. I stand by it. I'm not gonna blame it on the edit.
He said it's not my best look, but I'm gonna stand by it. You're gonna stand by it. Yeah, why? Because Blair owns you. Like, you should get property of Blair tattooed right on your back, dude.
I said what I said, but there's context in things. So
Yeah, I would love to hear what the context is behind calling someone disgusting who you're debating.
I really want to make sure that people understand why I came across the way I did, the history from Blair and myself, and also why I refused
Again, we already went over that history. That history was bullshit.
to answer what I am dysphoric about, because it's nobody's damn business.
You also
Except anybody out there who might be able to be helped from you sharing your dysphoria.
don't have to apologize about boundaries as well. I think we all were placed in a position that was unique. I myself, I didn't know that it was going to be Blair talking points online. When I
Oh my god, this guy's so boring. So boring. God, Shane, your sunglasses are not making up for your sheer monotone, sleep ambient, sad. Oh my god, I just can't with this guy. I really can't. All right, let's go back to hearing what Snooze Fest Shane has to say.
came in to the debate, because I mean that's what you do when you come into a debate. I mean, you get talking points. Quite frankly, I didn't even know the level of her following or her influence. I did recognize her once I saw her on set. I was actually kind of disappointed. I was kind of praying for Buck Angel, actually.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna lie, because I'm a trans guy. So
That
that's
natural
somebody
disaster.
that I've, wanted to have a discussion with. But that
I'm pretty sure
was
Buck Angel. I don't know anything about Buck Angel, but I'm pretty sure that he would whoop him too.
the comments that were made that were, especially towards the two of you, it was really hard to even sit there. And then
Blossom deserved every single comment that came her way. So did Alex. Let's just be clear. All right, one side was attacking the other side, and the other side was not attacking the other side. One side was on the defense, and one side was on the offense. And guess what? These guys were not on the defense. Maybe Alex was, but he shouldn't even have been there in the first place.
at the same time, to hear someone that has a platform that really does influence folks.
In a positive way.
And then I was just watching all the faces of the people that I had helped throughout my career working in some nonprofit work, and remembering a trans veteran who would have to.
Here's Shane pretending that he's holier than thou. I am the helper. I am the one here who helps everybody. Nobody else helps anybody. Like, ain't I such a good guy? That's Shane for you.
Take off their makeup when I would take them home at night, because they stayed at a VA shelter and they were afraid that they would get beaten up. But it was just all those folks.
If that is true, that is sad. Nobody should ever feel like they're going to be physically assaulted just because of how they look or the way they live their lives.
Folks' faces just flashing through my eyes as she was saying all this rhetoric that she doesn't quite understand the impact of her language and how it actually affects the system as a whole.
I'm sure she does. That's why she uses her voice for good, dude.
And that was really hard to kind of be in that space. And a lot.
Yeah, because you guys were getting schooled. I'm sure it was really, really hard for you guys to be in that space because you guys were just getting owned left and right.
Context and a lot of things were kind of cut off because the way that she was operating in the space, the director, I think for the first time ever, had to make rules.
Yeah.
Which was really.
How would they know if it's for the first time? I mean, I'm sure there's been Jubilee episodes where they've had to make rules before. I'm sure that's not the first one. I'm sure you guys aren't the first ones to get in a shouting match on Jubilee. You guys might be the first ones to get incredibly shut out, like a baseball game on Jubilee.
Interesting to me because.
Actually, I've watched a couple Jubilee episodes, and I'll say that I've never seen a more one-sided debate than I saw in that debate.
Somehow, some way, the narrative has been flipped that, we attacked her.
The narrative hasn't been flipped, bro. You did attack her. It is on tape. You guys straight up went right after her from the get-go. A lot of guys told me in the comments that you switched around the questions that were being asked, so that's why Blair looks like she's annoyed right off the bat. So, yeah, all the editing in the world couldn't save you guys. They tried to make Blair look bad. They ended up making you guys look even worse, but that's because you guys were worse. You guys treated her like terribly. If you're so about treating your community with peace and love, that is not how you guys treated Blair. You guys did not treat Blair anything like that.
Or we did this, we did that, but none of her actions are really being held accountable, at least on her behalf.
Because she didn't do anything wrong, Shane. She didn't do anything wrong. Granted, the only thing you did wrong was put me to sleep and put everybody else to sleep and not really offer anything. And you did shush Sarah on a topic about military when Sarah was in the military. So you did do wrong. I will tell you what, though, wearing the sunglasses inside, that should cancel you right there.
I mean, maybe should I not have said, what do you do for the community? Maybe. I mean, that obviously hit a trigger
you did the
for her.
right thing.
Because you're just clearly showing your ignorance. You don't know who she is, and you're accusing her of not doing anything for the community. Like, clearly, you know that she does a lot. So when you ask her that, and she spent her life working with trans people, that's going to offend her. You guys supposed to come into this informed, and you guys were clearly not informed whatsoever.
But for me, when I was hearing what she was saying about pulling people out of the military and then she wasn't offering resources or speaking for detransitioners.
What resources would you have wanted her to offer, Shane? Plus, I don't even remember how that went. Like, I feel pretty confident in remembering how the debate went. You're just making this up at this point. You're just making things up.
I was actually trying to empathize for detransitioners in that space. I was thinking, well, what are the numbers so that we can create resources for these folks? Because I'm putting on my, my nonprofit kind of activism. Oh my God, people need help.
Look at me, I'm so great. I help so many people. I wear sunglasses inside. I'm just so awesome, ain't I? Look at me, I'm Shane. I'm the savior of the trans community. Come on, dude. Be better. Be better than this.
Hat, and I'm seeing, okay, well, if there's a detransitioner issue, we need to create resources for that.
Yeah.
And I see somebody who has a platform who is really speaking for these folks, and that's not really platforming these folks and actually creating real resources. Because if I can kind of see how detransitioners feel like they're, in a rock and a hard place when it comes to our community.
Yeah, because they can't speak out against the trans people because they'll be attacked by people like you. That's why they can't come out. You are the rock and the hard place. Blair is out there advocating for them, being like, look, these people were rushed into transitioning when they weren't ready, and now they have a lifetime supply of depression and lifetime supply of medical conditions that are going to come along with that. And you offered them no sympathy whatsoever. Like, in the debate, you offered them zero sympathy. You were just telling Blair she was a liar. You guys could care less about the greater impact and more focused on how can we take down Blair. That is why everybody who's watched this debate doesn't side with you guys, because you guys were too focused on Blair and not on the topics at hand.
Because they don't quite fit in. They feel isolated from the trans community. They're not being accepted by the cis community.
Because they're not trans. And I'm pretty sure they are being accepted by the cis community. People applaud people who are brave enough to detransition. And they say, we'll do our best to try to help you. That's why conservatives advocate for detransitioners, because they know that all these people are being rushed into this and not fully getting the information that they need.
There's that gap there. And I was trying to have a discussion on how we can support that gap. I didn't really mean to trigger her. I don't really know exactly why it triggered her so much.
Oh my God, dude. You're just playing coy. Like, he might be the biggest. No, that's still Blossom. I can't even say it, but this guy knows what I expect more from Shane, because during the debate, I didn't even my biggest plight with him was that he was boring, but this here makes me even more frustrated because he straight up is just making up stuff at this point. I don't know why I triggered her when I asked what she does for the community, knowing full well that she has over 1 million followers and, helps tons and tons of people. Get with it, Shane. Get with it, dude. And take off the sunglasses. They look stupid.
The way she portrays herself online was somebody that could really handle a debate. And
she handled herself fine, Shane. It was you guys who didn't handle yourself at all. Like, Blair handled herself like a freaking G. You guys handled yourself like little kids getting picked on in the playground. And honestly, you deserved every second of it. I don't advocate for bullying in any way whatsoever, but you guys bullied her. She bullied you back, and you guys couldn't take it. That's why all three of you are sitting together, all patting each other on the back, while Blair's off in her hotel room getting ready to help the next person. And that's why in the beginning you were like, like and subscribe if you like me. Look how cool I am. I'm wearing sunglasses inside.
I don't know if she handled that debate in a way that, even made her points come across the way that I think she wanted to. And she even
Yeah, because she didn't have time to talk about the debate when she was getting ruthlessly attacked and interrupted by you guys. She felt like she had an opportunity to get out to more people, and you guys just kept interrupting her, you know?
said online already, she was so triggered by my comment that she couldn't handle the rest of the debate, which it's like, I'm asking for deliverables on what you're actually doing. I don't think that's anything that should be wrong or should not be questioned. I mean, if you were to...
She told you, she said, in the debate, she literally said, I have dedicated my life to this. I talk to over 1 million people on my social media platforms, which she does. And then she said that she thinks it's great that you guys feel like you're doing great work by helping 20 to 25 people. You were the one who got triggered. You're the one who said, how dare you insult grassroots or whatever it was that you said.
Ask what I did. I have no problem saying I did this, that, and the other. And even if someone were to disagree with me, it wouldn't trigger me.
But you were triggered, though, Shane. You were triggered. You said
It's really disappointing that you would ever equate community services.
like these people are delusional. That's all this is this is delusional. I almost don't even want to finish this video because it just gets more delusional from here. But it's YouTube, and I know you guys want to see what I react to this, but I don't know why you guys are putting me through this. Why can't I just react to something else? But let's keep going. Let's hear what cool sunglasses Shane has to say.
You know, rock me to that way. So, you know, I feel like I've said quite a bit too as well. I don't want to take over too much more, but
No, I'm glad you said that. 'Cause
For a second, I forgot Blossom was there.
me and Blair, I am the reason why this debate actually happened.
No, you are not. Blair's the reason it happened, dude. Nobody from the trans community is rushing to Jubilee to see what Blossom has to say. If you were super excited to go watch this because Blossom was on there, write it in the comments because I want to see what the hell you're thinking, honestly.
What ended up happening was I was on a Jubilee episode called Trans Women versus Conservative Women. And Amala, who was the black conservative, she was a young Gen Zer. Me and her were going back and forth the most on there. And so she had a podcast. And so once our debate was done and once we filmed that episode, she asked me to come on with other trans women who were conservative. I said, cool, I have no problem, because we had a good discussion.
I'm letting her talk, but there's something
Well,
I'm going to say at the end.
I got blindsided because when I got over to her studio or whatever, Buck Angel showed up. And I was just like, these are not the trans women that you said. And
All right, let's stop it right there because I got receipts for this too. All right, ready? First off, I want to say I love Amala's show, Unapologetic. Amala is one of the best up-and-coming young conservative voices. Let's go see if what Blossom said is true, or if Blossom is finally going to get called out in a lie, and I'm going to show you guys right here on YouTube. Also, I highly suggest going to follow Amala. She has a great show. She's just absolutely crushing it right now in the YouTube space. But all right, let's see what Amala says.
What ended up happening was I was on a Jubilee episode called Trans Women versus Conservative Women. And Amala, who was the black conservative, she was a young Gen Zer. Me and her were going back and forth the most on there. And so she had a podcast. And so once our debate was done and once we filmed that episode, she asked me to come on with other trans women who were conservative. I said, cool, I have no problem, because we had a good discussion there. Well, I got blindsided because when I got over to her studio or whatever.
This is Amala's first time seeing this.
And I was just like, these are not the trans women that you said. And so what ended up happening was...
These are not the trans women you're looking for. Sorry, that was my Jedi mind trick.
I shot the episode with Buck. I thought the conversation went great, but Buck flipped out. And let me make this very clear. Anything that I say here today is my personal opinion as a black trans woman. And so nobody can police that.
She's saying that because she knows that this is going to get a lot of attention, and she's blatantly just straight up lying. That's why she said that right there. She's trying to cover herself. This is just her opinion. But as you're about to shortly see, Amala is about to expose everything that she just said.
We did the debate. I did not feel 100%.
We're watching a review inside of a review inside of a review. This is next level YouTube stuff here, guys.
Because I don't mind debating trans conservative over issues, but for me, and this is that Libra in me, it has to be the right balance of space. The balance was not there because they were going to lean automatically more towards him, and I just pretty much threw off the debate on purpose. I literally just threw it off because I'm like, there's another platform we can have this. Well,
Okay. That just about sums it up. First of all, I was watching this and I was like, what in the hell?
Yeah, that's what everybody thinks when they're watching her is, well, Blossom, not Amala. Amala's great. But everybody watches Blossom and thinks, what the hell?
What in the hell?
Amala tried to befriend Blossom, which was her first mistake, because Blossom is not someone you want to befriend. Trust me when I say that.
What's going on real quick? So I had to very quickly just go and like search on my phone because I'm like, okay, first of all, I know I have receipts for this just not being the case whatsoever. So I do got to pull those up just to like add some clarification to this situation. Okay, y'all, here's a little text message. In fact, let me put it full screen.
All right, I just want to show you guys this text message real fast.
For you. This is me, Amala Epinobi. Hey, I will be in touch. Hi, Blossom, it's Amala. Want to talk to you about getting you on the show, if you're still up for that. Blossom saying, hey, love, hope you're great. Yes, absolutely. And then I say, great. I will start a group chat with you and my PR person at the time, which shout out Sabrina, because Sabrina knows about all this stuff too. And we'll coordinate, right? And he said, we are going to have Buck Angel on as well. To which Blossom said, okay, perfect.
Right there, and there you have it, folks. So, straight up liar. I mean, I could show you the Buck Angel interview and how she literally just gets, like, triggered by Buck.
Even sent pictures that were taken of Blossom to her after this debate happened in our studio. So, there are the receipts, guys.
Receipts. I told you I was bringing receipts, courtesy of Amala. Thank you, Amala. We're bringing receipts. We're exposing Blossom to the world to see just how much of a liar, compulsive liar this person is.
BFFR, guys. Which I'm not going to be like overly dramatic about this. It doesn't really matter all that much, but it's just so interesting that like somebody would bring your name up out of nowhere in an interview like this and then characterize me as if I had blindsided her. Imagine if I had actually done that and been like, hey, Blossom, I want you to come to the studio. We're going to have a healthy debate between you, a trans woman, and then, you know, a trans conservative woman. And then you show up and Buck Angel's there, you know, a whole ass transsexual man. And I'm
Yeah, because if you've ever watched Amala, she prides herself on being like very respectful, very kind to everybody. Like she tried to befriend Blossom after their interview, and they were pretty heated during. Well, of course you're talking to Blossom, so of course Blossom's gonna get heated during a debate. But Amala did nothing wrong. Let me try and fast forward here to the Buck Angel part because I think she shows that. There it is.
between Blossom and Buck. If you haven't seen that video, let me just show you a short little clip of just how well that conversation went.
I used to follow you a lot on Facebook. One of my dear black trans sisters who is an activist, you made a remark about her being a monkey.
I would never. That is
Years
an
ago.
actual lie.
That is
Pull that
actually
up.
true.
I have never ever said that. Actually, that is insulting. I am insulted. That is racist. That is not okay. I have
That is what you were
never.
accused
No,
of.
I have never said it. Never. Never.
Yeah.
That is a complete total
I'm
lie.
not gonna sit here
That's
and-
upsetting.
I'm not gonna
I'm
sit
very
here-
upset about
So
that.
let's pause.
So let's pause.
Oh boy, it sure looks like Blossom doesn't really get along with anybody at this point, does it? Doesn't really look like that at all. You know, like I told you guys, I was bringing receipts today. I'm bringing receipts. We're exposing them. Like if there's, it's not even like I really feel like I need to do a whole lot because. You know, why's my hat crooked? Because at the end of the day, Blossom just exposes herself constantly, you know. But thank you, Amala. Thank you for making my video better. Please don't copyright me. I was just trying to stick up for you. All right, let's keep going, guys, because we still got a lot of video to go. I will attach all of these videos in the description so that if you guys want to go see Amala, go follow her, or put Blair's video down there too. I don't want to put the other video because it's just so... It was just so bad, dude. Like this, I don't want anybody to ever have to watch
Welcome
this
to the
again.
transparent-
Oh God, I lost my position. All right, where is she? I think this.
Trans women versus conservative women. And Amala,
All right, we already heard this.
I did not feel 100% comfortable in that space because I don't know, it wasn't debating Buck, because I don't mind debating trans conservative over issues, but for me, and this is that Libra in me, it has to be the right balance of space. The balance was not there because they were going to lean automatically more towards him.
Well, no, that is not. Amala was giving you a chance to really defend yourself, and you assumed that you were just going to get attacked. So that is on you, Blossom. That is not on Amala. Amala, if you guys go back and we'll search out Buck Angel versus Blossom, I'm pretty sure it'll pop up on Amala's channel. But you'll see right away that Amala tries to be a clean, clear moderator. You know, she wanted to give Blossom a chance to defend her ideas. If her ideas had any kind of foundation, it would be easy to stand on them. But they're like quicksand, all right? They fall apart and they suck you in, and then you can't get out. She just digs herself a hole deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper.
And I just pretty much threw off the debate on purpose. I literally just threw it off because I'm like, there's another platform where we can have this. Well, here's the thing. Blair White got hold of that debate because, again, Buck and Blair are like night and day or whatever all together. And conservatives were...
I mean, I'm telling you guys straight up, I don't know a whole lot about this. I'm just simply reacting to what I'm seeing. Is Blair and Buck one-on-one? I mean, Buck doesn't even seem like Blair's type, personally. I mean, they just have the same views, but, you know, as you'll see going forward, like, Blossom is just constantly just rag on conservatives.
Are hyping her up because, oh, she should have debated Blair. And I agree because me and Buck were not a match for that particular debate because we just had two different experiences.
No, you weren't a match because Buck knows his stuff and you clearly don't. And you don't like being owned. And you constantly are getting owned because you're not a debater. And I don't know how anybody ever started calling her the queen of debate because she's not. Like, maybe the queen of just throwing crap at the wall. And she'd be the queen of that for sure. Queen of lying, maybe queen of constantly, compulsively lying. I could debate anybody if I'm allowed to just lie the whole time, because then I can just make up whatever I want. And that's essentially what Blossom does.
And it was just like, yeah, you're not who I need to debate. And I am a firm believer as a debater, like, you got to have somebody that can kind of match your thing where you're going head to head. And that's what
I need someone who's dumb as I am so that I can make some goddamn sense. I need someone who I can manipulate and can't see through my BS because that's the only way I can win. I need someone I can bully. I need someone like Andrew who I can threaten. If they don't get in line with what I'm saying, I can make them feel like they're physically not safe anymore.
when really good debating and good discussion happened. And so what ended up happening was she had been wanting to debate me for a year. She started following me on Instagram.
Wait,
and
she was following you already on Instagram?
She was already following me on Instagram. So
didn't she say in the debate she doesn't know who you are?
Yeah. Oh, I have mad receipts.
Okay,
I have mad receipts.
You're going to hear this constantly from Blossom. She's going to keep saying, I got mad receipts, but you're never going to see one of them. You're not going to see a single one. What do you have receipts? That she followed you on Instagram? And if Blair was following you on Instagram, I'm sure it was just to keep track of the lies you're saying so that she knew what kind of lies to correct. Because that's the type of person Blair is. She cares about the community at large. And people like you constantly do damage. The ones that you guys are saying, you guys are always saying, oh, you got to be careful who you damage. You got to be careful who you damage, you know, in your community. These three have done more damage in these past couple days after that Jubilee episode than I think anybody has to the trans community. Even the guy with the heart on in the bathroom.
Receipts on her.
I remember that, right?
But,
didn't she say
yeah.
that?
She didn't know who I was.
But she was following you on Instagram?
Yeah.
She said, I didn't know. How the hell was she supposed to know who you were, Alexander? You were behind clown makeup when she saw that video of you.
Mad receipts on that. And so,
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
You guys are accusing her of being a liar when in reality, like how many people does Blair deal with on a regular basis? Probably a lot. Have you ever been on Joe Rogan, Alexander? I don't think you ever will be, because Joe will be like, who is this guy? Get him out of here. This is ridiculous. Blossom, you'll never be on Joe Rogan. Shane thinks he's Joe Rogan, but really he's like Joe Rogaine. I don't know. That wasn't a good joke, but you know, who cares?
No, you're fine. Yeah. No, you're fine. And so what ended up happening was this other platform.
Ew, you know what I just thought? How gross would it be if like right after this podcast they had like an orgy? Oh, good luck sleeping the night with that image in your head.
This trashy platform reached out to me and was just like, hey.
This trashy platform reached out to me because Shane's platform with 667 subscribers. Granted, I only have 250. Listen, I almost have as many subscribers as Shane, and I'm doing my show from my living room, from my bedroom. Shane's got a whole studio, but you're complaining about another platform being trashy. Blossom's idea of trashy is anybody who has any kind of conservative. Talked about a lot of this with you guys in the comments last time I posted. I used to be a liberal, dude. I was a liberal for most of my life up until about 2020 when everything went haywire. And then here I was Here's where this was pretty much like, okay, so this was like left to center, right? We'll say this is left to center. Then after 2020, everything went wow, which leaves me now on the right. All right. My beliefs became conservative because of just how crazy the left got. So I wasn't always a conservative. I leaned left most of my life, but now that I leaned left, I am considered like in the right. And right is right.
Someone that wants to debate you about trans issues, and I was just like, oh my God, is it Blair White? He was like, yeah, it's Blair. And I was just like, okay, I'll come on and I will debate her. And so
big mistake.
She didn't get back to him for about a week, and something told me to go look on the platform because I had learned my lesson with the last platform. I looked on that platform. They had some girl on there breaking.
That was Amala's platform she was talking about, by the way, but we just cleared that up that Blossom was full of crap.
Her NDA over which celebrity she slept with, and I said, my community is not going to come to this platform and watch a debate between me and Blair. And so what I ended up doing was when that girl
yes, they would have, because they would have came to see Blair whoop your butt.
Finally got back in touch with him. I told him, I said, listen, you can tell Blair to get in my DM and we can find a more mutual platform where we can debate each other. I don't think this is the platform that my community will come to. And I have mad receipts on that. He was like, cool. Blair never did. So almost a year later, I got a call from one of the producers wanting me to be a part of this episode or whatever. And when they told me what the name of it was, I was like, okay, Blair is probably behind this because I didn't realize you can go and pitch episodes to them. And so what I am
Wait a minute. I thought she said that she was the one who created this Jubilee episode. Now Blair did? Like, what is... She can't even keep up with her own lies.
Pitched that episode, and I think it was intentional on the casting because she's always said on her platform she dislikes trans activists and non-binary people. So that's why you and I felt
she's not. I don't think Blair's ever said she dislikes non-binary people. She literally said that non-binary people are not trans people. That's all she said. Never. I don't think anywhere. I mean, I could be wrong. Again, I don't follow Blair religiously. I do like the way that she debates, though. I think that she's a very intelligent woman. But I don't think I've ever heard her say that she doesn't like non-binary people. I think these are all narratives that are being created right here. And whoever you 389 people who liked this, who gave it a thumbs up, shame on you, because you're fueling the fire of this misinformation that's going out. These people need to be stopped, not physically stopped, but like, you know what I mean? Like, they need to be deplatformed.
Like we're so targeted as much or whatever, but we held the most power on our end because she's bullied other non-binary people on her platform.
Her own side.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Some of those people that she's bullied, made videos of or whatever, were also my close friends. And so it was a more personal thing.
Blossom, you don't have close friends. You have people who follow you because you have internet popularity.
Like I was excited to debate.
Could you imagine being friends with Blossom and having to listen to this constantly? Oh, God. Like, send her over to Iraq and let her interrogate victims. I guarantee you after an hour, they would be done. They'll be spilling every piece of information they have listening to her.
Blair, because I knew...
Maybe she could be in the military. This is your way in, Blossom. You're going to be an interrogator for the CIA.
That representation for not just me as a black trans woman, but for all the trans and non-binary folks that she's harmed. Because I'm not going to say they don't have, they just may not have the capacity to deal with her. And she's a lot. And when I got...
Oh, you're a lot, all right. Trust me.
She was so unprofessional. She was so disrespectful.
No, she was not, dude.
She had an agenda. She had a whole agenda and a mission. And I think her point was she wanted to throw off that episode like she did.
One of these people did have an agenda, and it wasn't Blair. Blair, well, actually, that's not true. I'm sure Blair went into this with the agenda of informing people about what's actually going on in the trans world and trying to figure out ways to like help it and make it better. Blossom came on here for one reason, Blossom, and to stop Blair, to destroy Blair. It didn't work that way. It actually ended up working the other way. Now people all dislike Blossom, except for these weird 389 people who like this for some reason.
Dr. Phil. She wanted to come on there and be disruptive. She wanted to be this boss or whatever. And
she was.
To a certain degree, the Jubilee.
Blair, you were a total boss.
Part in it.
If you ever see this, hello.
During the taping of this, she did call me ugly.
See, Blair claims that she never called her ugly. I'm not going to keep jumping back and forth because I don't want to like get copyrighted strike, but Blair has a response for all of this. I showed you just a peek of it so you guys can get an idea of like the video that Blair put out, but I just kind of want to get through this because or else we'll be here for 5 hours going back and forth between all this stuff. Blair on her page answers all this. So after my video, if you want to go watch that, I'll leave that in the description as well. I mean, Blair answered all this stuff.
While we were filming, they did edit it out.
Conveniently, they edited it out. So conveniently.
And I'm actually glad they did. And I'll tell you why. Long story short,
Blair went on to say that she thinks that the reason that Blossom thinks that she called her ugly was because Blossom secretly thinks that she's ugly. So it was her way of projecting onto her and just assuming that that's what she said when Blair never said that, which makes sense because Blossom seems like she has to be narcissistic because if not, she's going to hate herself because she hates the way she looks. I think she hates Blair because she wishes she looked like Blair. Like, Blair is a beautiful woman. Blossom, I'm sorry, honey. I mean, you look great in that dress, but yeah, you're not doing it for me, honey. You're not doing it for me.
Or whatnot.
Not that you care because I'm a white man, so I'm sure that you hate my guts just on that alone. We'll get into that. That's going to be that's interesting stuff.
Keep it cute. She was like, yeah, you keep it cute because you're ugly.
Wait, they kept that in there. They kept that in there. They didn't cut that out.
Xanax for her. Oh, keep it cute, girl. Keep it real cute.
Oh, that's inappropriate, but the rest of shit isn't. Okay.
And in that moment, I got triggered. And I sat there because I've looked at this girl's platform. And she has a racist following. A lot of her followers are racist.
Here we go. When in doubt, claim racists are about. That's I like that one. Now this is where it's gonna get really awkward because she's talking to two white people and she's just gonna go on this big long rant about how much she dislikes white people.
Very prejudiced. They're very racist. They're very transphobic.
No, they're not. I know a lot of you guys are Blair followers. Let me know in the comments. Are you racist? Tell me. Just be straight up honest with me. Are you racist? My guess is no. You're not. You're not racist. You know who's racist? Blossom. Blossom is straight up racist. She blames white people for all of her problems because that victim mentality.
But the thing is, when you feel isolated from community, you're going to go to whoever's going to affirm you.
Allah. Hello, all three of you guys. I mean, she literally just said it. When you feel alienated, you're going to go to whoever agrees with you. That is how this podcast came to be. They all affirm each other. They affirm each other so hard.
I knew that was more of a deeper rooted saying towards me and my ancestry and everything about me. So what ended up happening was, because I've worked on this set before, we ended up taking a 30-minute break. That has never happened. Last time I was on that set, we shot 3 hours straight conversation, which is why for our episode, I'm really shocked at the amount of content we were able to get.
Probably because you threatened Blair with physical violence and the producers were like, we can't be having Blossom go attack Blair in the middle of our debate. That's probably why you guys got a 30-minute break.
Because the director said 1 hour and 30 minutes, we were all fighting with her, which I was like, whoa. So when we took the 30 minutes.
An hour and 30 minutes, they were attacking that poor girl. Why? Because she wants to be strong in a world that is mean to her, and she dares to be different. When she sees her community doing wrong, she's brave enough to speak up about it, and that is why they attacked her.
Minute break, you know, they had us all in separate dressing rooms, and so I actually had to do a root chakra meditation to get back.
It didn't work, Blossom. Your root chakra, whatever it is, didn't work.
Conservatives like to say about me is I'm angry, I'm upset, and because of my statue, they're trying to say I'm very threatening, and I'm not.
Absolutely, you are threatening. The poor little guy Andrew, you tried to intimidate that guy too. You are threatening. You make no sense. I'm sure many conservatives would say that you make absolutely no sense at all when you talk. At least that's what I'm saying, and I guess I'm conservative because I don't agree with you. But I mean, this is just absolutely ridiculous.
And so, you know, we got back on set, we debated. And if you notice, I calmed her down a little bit.
No, you
know
didn't.
What I mean? Like
Blair calmed herself down.
Debating is also strategy.
I love how she's taking credit for calming Blair down. Like Blair can't calm herself down.
And so, you know, I was
And in Blair's video, she did say she went and calmed herself down because she knew she had a debate to finish because she had people to help. Look at this guy. He's just like, why am I even still here? Look at me. I'm Alex. I just need the makeup and the hat. Alex, burn that hat, man. Burn it.
I was like, Blair, I don't have no problem with you.
My man's still over here wearing sunglasses. Why are you wearing sunglasses, bro? Because the sun never sets on a badass. I just want to, that's going to be, I want my thumbnail to just be him like that for no reason at all. I want to make that a t-shirt.
Or whatever. And then, you know, in the video, I set her up for the perfect blow up when I talked about how my blackness should not pay for your whiteness that's destroying my community.
Oh, so she's admitting that the only reason that she said that was to try to get a reaction out of Blair. Blossom is literally exposing herself here.
And it's so funny because all of a sudden, you know, she's half white and she's half Latina.
You're fine with the Latina part of her, but you're not fine with the white part of her. You know what that sounds like? That sounds like racism. That sounds like racism, Blossom. You are a racist.
But all of a sudden, she wants to lean back in.
This is what I don't get. How can Blossom sit here and say this about, just use this blatant racism? But if I were to say anything even remarkably close to that about the black community, which first off, I just want to say I love the brothers and the sisters. You guys are awesome. I have no problem with black people. No race at all. I love them all. I don't love Blossom, but I don't love Blossom not because of the color of her skin. I don't love Blossom because she's a liar and a manipulator and kind of dumb.
Into her Latina-ness, her being a Latina, she's
that's racist right there, saying Latina. That's racist.
half Mexican, she's half Portuguese or whatnot, to try to assimilate into a conversation with me about what I was saying. And the thing is, it's like, first of all, on her white side, when I specifically said whiteness, I'm talking about your white side. Let's not
talk about your Portuguese side. Let's just only talk about your white side because that's who I have problems with. Who hurt you, Blossom? Who hurt you?
Act like Portuguese people can't be racist to the Africans that come over there. And let's not forget,
And they are.
Portuguese people.
Oh, wow. So now they're going to attack the Portuguese. Wow, she's going after a whole nationality now. So she's not only going to be racist towards white people, she's being racist towards Portuguese people. This is great. This is just great stuff, guys. Really, really quality content.
In Portugal, they were colonizing folks, and what it is
if Joe Rogan is the epitome of podcasts, this is whatever is on the complete other side of that. They should pay Spotify $300,000 or $300 million just for putting this trash on the internet.
Blair thought she was going to colonize me. That's what she thought she was going to do.
How do you colonize a person? How do you colonize a person, Blossom? You are making 0 sense at all.
I mean, the respectability politics comment that she made about...
Look, he's like, I need to interject here because I have no idea what the hell you're saying. Even Shane's like, I have no clue what the hell you're saying, Blossom.
You need to work on your transition before you go to the... Ooh. I mean...
Well, yeah, it makes sense. She's simply saying if you look more like a guy, use the guy's room. If you look more like a girl, go to the girl's room. If you want to use the girl's room, try your best to look more like a girl. If you want to use the guy's room, try your best to look as much like a guy as you can. I don't see how that is rude at all. Like, she's trying to say, don't inconvenience yourself. These aren't hard. Like, for someone who has no idea about being trans, I am getting all of these concepts pretty damn easily. I don't understand why these people can't pick up on it.
In the level of just
audacity,
lack of empathy for other people's
It was
lives.
stupid. She was stupid. It was just.
It's not just your lives, dude. It's the lives of the people around you. That's what you guys are failing to understand. It's the lives of the people who are around you that you are hurting. Peeing standing up next to my 9-year-old daughter in the bathroom when I can't come in there because I'm a man. I'm a cisgendered, heterosexual, white man. Oh my God, guys. What am I going to do here, dude? My brain cells are just like, I'm losing it. I'm losing it, guys.
Such a stupid comment.
Yeah.
It was really stupid because
That is great. Oh my God, I can't even let them talk because every single thing that comes out of their mouth is something that is so completely asinine that I have to comment on it. Like, oh my God. Oh, why and that? Why do you guys want to see me talk about this?
Just like, why are we policing other people's transness? And they're trying to use, because I caught their strategy, like they're trying.
I talked
to
about
use
this
the
in my
gender
last
binary of being
episode.
a man and being a woman
They're policing transness because people who make the trans community look bad make them look bad. That's why they're policing it. Like, she's taking this so offensively. She can't grasp this concept.
Against somebody that's non-binary. And it was interesting. I will say strategically, it was really interesting because, like, when I debate, I have to take my feelings out of it or whatever because we got to.
That is the biggest crock of crap I've ever heard. When I debate, I have to take my feelings out of it. Your debate is 110% your feelings, Blossom. 110% your feelings is what you debate with.
Talk about the important issues. But they have a certain strategy where they sound very convincing in their talking points.
Because they are convincing. Like, conservatives are very well organized. Say what you want. I just want to put it out there, right? Okay, guys? Being conservative for these past 2 years, all I've known is well-spoken individuals who organize their thoughts. They bring facts to the argument. They make sure that they don't ever try to proclaim something without having backup to show their point of view. Liberals, well, okay, I gotta preface it again. It's not liberals. It's the far left part of them, because again, I feel like liberals who lean left aren't nearly as bad as like people like this. I lost my train of thought. This is exhausting, and this is exhausting, and I'm not even like halfway through this video yet. I hope you guys like this, man.
When you take their talking points and just try to dissect it, they're really stupid. They're not really connecting, but conservatives like that because conservatives only have a basic understanding of what trans people and non-binary people are. And that's why
that's why Blair exists, to try to help teach them in a constructive way that is not harmful to them. Like, you just figured out what Blair's purpose is, why she's conservative, so that she could teach conservative people like me what transness is about and like what it could be, not what you're doing over here, whatever the hell this is. Like, this isn't helpful. You're not. Conservatives are afraid of people like you, Blossom.
They know they are the basic understanding of what transness is.
Yeah.
And they're going to believe everything that they say.
Yeah. It's funny.
That doesn't make any sense. They're going to basic understanding of what transness is. Again, I'm not surprised. I mean, I could sit here all day and just point out every single thing that Blossom says is making no sense, but let's just move on because I don't think I could take any more of it. I really don't.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I was just actually telling somebody, I was like, you know, there are people in this world who are just like so well spoken, but they're not right. And it does.
What does that even mean? Like, yeah, Hitler was well-spoken. He wasn't right. Congratulations. You figured out nothing. We all know this.
It doesn't matter. Like, you can sit there and be...
It's like he had this big revelation. Like, this is going to make me sound really smart. There's well-spoken people who aren't right. Yeah, guess what? That's every politician you've ever met, dude. Every politician you've ever met can speak really well, and they're wrong about half the stuff they talk about.
Be like...
Oh, you got the muffin top going. You got the muffin top. Oh, that's the thumbnail right there, baby. I gotta save that. I gotta save this one right here. Bam. Yes, Alex. Thank you for the gold, bro. Thank you for the gold. And that is in the thumbnail. Thank you, Alex.
You know, the statistics say this and that.
Blah 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 blah. And talking back and forth until you turn blue, but it doesn't mean that you're correct. It doesn't mean that you're correct. You just because you're well spoken doesn't mean you're correct. So. It's almost like a facade. It's like this, like, they're putting on drag, you know? I mean, honestly.
Oh, my God. It's almost like they're liars. It's almost like they're trying to manipulate us. It's almost like everything we've done so far.
If you think about it, it's like this silly perception that because you sound smart, you are smart. But you're not. You're not always smart. You're not always right. It doesn't matter how educated you are. It doesn't make you right all the time. And people...
I'm trying to...
don't...
I want to see if I can get a better...
Kind of like forget that. Conservatives, like you said, conservatives love that, though. They love a well-spoken, they love a well-spoken person.
Yeah, God forbid we talk to people who make sense. God forbid us conservatives talk to people who make sense.
And so it doesn't matter if they're right or wrong.
Yeah.
And oh, well, you know what?
Actually, it does, because conservatives check for receipts. That's the one thing that we make sure of, because guess what? If you come with that BS, we kick you right out. Like, that is how that goes. That's why I'm not sitting here trying to proclaim, like, Shane's a pedophile. I don't have any proof of that. I'm not going to say that because I don't know that. That's the difference.
What, though? They were so well-spoken.
It is when it comes to that.
Anybody who thinks that Blair won the debate, congratulations, you are now a conservative in the eyes of Shane. So I don't care whether you consider yourself a liberal, a lefty. If you don't agree with the debate and you feel like Blair won, you are conservative now. Welcome to the club.
Folks were saying that I was well spoken too, and it's
No, you weren't. I don't think anybody said that.
To me, when I'm looking at that, and especially with the two of you as well, especially Blossom, the way that the double standard, because I'm a white male presenting.
Oh yeah, now you're only well spoken because you're white. Maybe Blossom didn't get that because she's not well spoken and she makes no sense.
Right.
You know, passing privilege, all of those things come into factor for folks, and you can see it clearly.
No, Shane. No, it has absolutely nothing to do with the color of Blossom, dude. It has to do with the fact that for the snooze fest that you actually articulated the things that you were trying to say. Blossom wasn't. Blossom was just saying whatever the hell popped into her brain when there wasn't rainbows and unicorns flying around.
When a lot of the points, we were making similar points.
No, you were not. What point did you make that was similar, dude? Besides saying that Alex is a trans. Other than that, you didn't agree on anything. Okay, so here's what you guys have to understand. The only reason that Shane was on that panel was because Blossom got him on there. Because Jubilee asked Blossom if she knew another liberal to bring on, and she picked Shane. So Shane feels like he owes Blossom right now. It's the only reason that he's doing this.
And I think it's really harmful the way that a lot of the rhetoric that's going on in the community. I mean, even right now, the reason why I wore pink today is because I'm getting misgendered for the first time in the history of.
That's because people hate you.
It's so funny. I grew up my whole life getting he pronouns thrown at me as a bully, and now I'm getting called she. But to any trans mask out there that feels like,
oh, here we go. Let me make sure that I do my holier than now persona, because I need to make sure that everybody knows that I'm an ally and I'm on your team, even though I want your kids to transition well before they know when to.
You are getting, harmed.
Does your son ever put on a dress even once? Even just to make you laugh? He's trans. We need to cut that schlong off now.
In this way, shape, or form, if it can happen to me, don't let it worry you. I mean, it's just people projecting their traumas out on you, and
or it's people that are upset that you're making the trans community look like shit.
We're pink today in celebration of it because, again, as I said in the episode, as I'm getting older, I used to be like Butch. Like masculinity was my whole identity. Like I wanted to chop logs. I can do,
I would pay money to watch Shane chop logs. I bet you he can't. Shane's only saying that to try to make himself seem like he can do anything a man can, which is the whole shtick behind this. I guarantee you can. I bet you Shane can't beat, let's go, the bottom 30% of men who were born male in arm wrestling. I bet you couldn't.
Whatever.
You hear that, Shane? I challenge you to an arm wrestling contest. If you beat me, I'll take down all my videos. If I beat you, you have to delete your podcast channel.
Standard of a man.
And admit that Blair was right.
And, I can do all of those things. And I almost became obsessed with it when I was younger because I had this idea of like, you got to be, this to be a man. And as I've aged, I've realized how ridiculous it was.
First off, no men walk around going, I got to do this to be a man. I mean, there's certain codes and stuff that men abide by. Like when you shake someone's hand, you want it to be a nice firm handshake because that shows that you're a guy who means business. Other than that, no guys walk around going, we need to do this. You sound like you're just quoting like Andrew Tate. And he's not someone. Andrew Tate does not represent men. Andrew Tate's the worst of us.
A, do I still love that I can chop wood? Yes, because I can keep my wife warm. Yeah. But B,
Alex is like, I want you can come chop my wood. You want to come chop my wood? Please come chop my wood anytime you want. How many cameras do they have? Jesus.
I also love the fact that I know how to when she goes to the store and buys makeup, I have the understanding of different tones and hey, let's touch this up with blush and
it's not hard. It's not hard to be like, hey, this is foundation. Hey, this is eyeliner. Hey, this color would look good on you. I can do that. And I'm like, I consider myself to be kind of manly. Look at this mustache. You don't grow a mustache like this without being manly. You know what I'm saying?
Different makeup things and having that sensitivity to me
But when it comes down to it, if I go makeup shopping with my girlfriend, which I don't really ever do because she wouldn't trust my opinion anyway, but I could be like, hey, this eyeshadow would look good on you. That doesn't mean nothing.
I don't know if a lot of straight men know this, but it makes it sexier for women when you are, like on this side.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem in that department. I got no dick, and I've had a wife for 17 years, so clearly I'm doing something right, y'all.
Listen.
And I think that makes some.
I'm sure that your wife loves you. I'm sure it has absolutely nothing to do with what you do in the bedroom. I mean, you might be a Casanova in the bedroom, but I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of people who have poor sex lives who still love their partner. For example, and I'm sorry to do this, mom and dad, but they've been together for 35 years and they can't stand each other. It's not like it's anything to really write home about that. Like, you're completely satisfying a woman. Some people stay together because they have kids. Some people stay together over religious beliefs. It's not always, I'm doing something right in the bedroom because I've been with my wife for 14 years. Oh, no.
Cis men uncomfortable that I got that BDE without having it.
Can I say?
All right. First off, guys, no dude tells themselves they have BDE, which stands for big dick energy. No guys walking around saying, I got that BDE. Other people tell you got BDE. Nobody tells themselves they have it. If you have to tell yourself you have BDE, you don't got it. All right. I'm just laying down facts for you. If someone tells you have BDE, then you might. I don't walk around going, I got that big dick energy. Nobody does that. And if you do, you're trying to compensate for the fact that you don't.
This because Blair had lied on me and said that I threatened her.
Yes,
Nobody's lying. Like, we saw it. Everybody saw it, dude. Like, what do you mean?
Talk about that as well.
And I definitely need to talk about that because my safety was in jeopardy at one.
Oh yeah, your safety was in jeopardy. You could fight everybody on that panel, except maybe Sarah. She was in the army. She might have a chance. But everybody else, you would just own. Look at them shoulders. You really think that anybody could fight you in that place? Oh, there we go. That's the thumbnail right there, boy. Let's go. I love it, dude. They just keep giving me these great thumbnails to use. I just like catching people in terrible positions, and that's what I'm going to use for their thumbnail pick. All right, let's keep going. Oh, my God.
Because I have mad receipts. Blair White.
Again, with the receipts, we haven't seen one yet.
She went to her little low budget podcast, and I do mean low budget.
Was that supposed to be offensive? Like, I have a low budget podcast and I still like doing it. The amount of money I put into it has absolutely nothing to do with whether or not I would do it. I would do it if I had my phone because I enjoy doing it. I don't enjoy reacting to these videos. I don't know why you guys keep making me do it, but I will give the people what they want. Like, I really hope this is the last time I gotta deal with Blossom. I really do, because oh my God, like, let me tell you when I say that this girl is destroying my brain. Like, she's making me dumber every time I have to listen to her.
Like, low budget in the dirt. It is a trash podcast, just like she is.
Oh, there we go. Back to the name calling. Trash. Oh my God. Like, these people never learn, dude. Like, there we go. Back to name calling. Now they're saying Blair's trash. You know who's trash? Blossom, you're trash. If you ever see this video, Blossom ever tries to beat you up, I got you back. I got your girl.
And the thing is, and I disrespectfully humbly say it. And because the thing is, all of us.
Because the thing is, you see, I don't know much. I may not be a smart trans girl, but I know what love is.
All of a sudden, these conservative trolls come over to my page and accuse me of threatening her. And so here's the thing.
Here we are, back to the beginning.
She's very in white proximity because I'm a black person.
Oh, here we go. She has nothing else. The only reason that Blossom's getting all this hate isn't anything to do with her incredible IQ. It's only because she's black. This is such a cop-out, dude. Like, take some ownership, for God's sakes.
Racists are part of her platform as far as those that follow her.
When in doubt, share race about.
She didn't think about my safety. She didn't care about my safety. She didn't care about what these people could have done to me.
actually, if you go and watch her thing, she says very clearly, I don't want to see anybody hurt. Like, Blair is coming out of this smelling like roses, and Blossom's coming out of this smelling like manure. Like, that's just the way that it is right now, guys. Like this is disgusting behavior, and please don't take anything that Blossom says as fact, or else you're just gonna go down a road that you can't come back from.
This is why I appreciate.
I'm gonna try to talk about this now while it's playing, because this is gonna be too long. If I stop the video every 5 seconds, we're gonna be here all day.
She was just like, Blossom, I know it's biased.
No, she didn't say that.
Blair to lead the set, and I actually
She didn't say that.
director in her place. Then I said,
Oh, you put her in her place. Yeah,
I've
I'm
been
sure
on
you
the
did.
set before. The last time I was here, I had a great time. Everyone treated me kindly. Everyone was sweet.
Except for apparently Amala, who
conservative
set you
women,
up
although we
for
had different viewpoints,
set you up in a
we all
booby
got
trap.
along. We all exchanged Instagram information. It was a vibe and a good time, and that's what I was expecting coming here. And it was so funny because
And then I just decided to just start lying, and everybody got mad, and I couldn't understand why.
Of course, I thought of you, and because I've suggested another trans man to them before, and it worked out or whatever, they trust me enough to bring people in to the platform.
So this is where we get to the meat and potatoes of why Shane was on the show even to begin with. It's not because Shane's like a charismatic figure in the social. Could they really not have found another trans person to bring on? Like, did they really have to trust Blossom to bring somebody, or did they just assume that they were going to bring somebody like Blossom who just shouts to the moon and nothing yields results? Like hey, Blossom, do you know anybody who you can bring on who will just, talk like you, just say a bunch of stuff that makes absolutely no sense, because we need that for our ratings. That's why Jubilee, I think, brings her on, is just because she's good entertainment, because it makes people go, what the is she talking about?
And I stood up there and I told her, I said, I'm the only black person on this set, and I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe because
I don't even know what to say to that. I don't feel safe. I'm the only. That'd be like me going to a party full of black people and being like, I don't feel safe. People would be like, you're a racist, dude. Yeah, because at Jubilee, you're gonna get shanked, dude. You're gonna get shanked by someone in the Jubilee freaking studio.
This girl is attacking me.
I heard those Jubilee studios get real rough. You gotta bring your shank with you.
Y'all typecast. Let's just be really clear. Y'all typecast for this episode because, again, she intentionally had a problem with non-binary people and trans activists. So
Yeah,
I
'cause
knew
you think
were
that Blair's gonna
automatically
attack
targeted.
you, dude? She got way more to lose than you.
Something changed in that director after that conversation, because the second half, she was so much better. After I told her that. And
After I told her that Blair was gonna
that's
attack
what
me,
my
she was a
head
lot
is.
nicer to me. That makes a whole lot of
For
sense.
some reason, that platform is really good for my brand because I love the
Yeah, because nobody else is gonna listen to you, dude. You think anybody's gonna come? Like, if you did videos like I did, do you think anybody's gonna listen to you? Like, I know that I'm not out here saying anything that's really Gucci, but I'll tell you what, like, I call it like I see it, and I think that at least I like to think that some people respect that just a little bit. But you literally, you're only on there because you're a trans person. That's it. Nobody's coming to you for knowledge. Nobody's coming to you because they need the next great equation solved. They're not coming to me for that either. But my point being that, like, they come to her because she's entertainment, and Jubilee knows that they're gonna be like, who the hell is this chicken? What the hell is she talking about?
Whenever I put up those Jubilee debate videos on my page, they're some of the highest rated viewed videos. So I'm like,
Because it's good content. People like watching people debate hot topics. Yeah, she's literally taking credit for all of Jubilee's success right now, and that's absolutely gross. Like, Jubilee, just do us a favor. Don't bring her back on ever, and then I guarantee you that she's gonna be like, they didn't bring me on because they know I was bringing that fire. They knew I was the next Blair White, except they're gonna call me Blair Black because I'm black. Did I mention I'm black? And I don't feel safe.
like, okay, so y'all will watch me debate somebody. Cool, it works for me. But I like going over to that platform because I love debating different viewpoints. And so, like, everyone was welcoming and everything or whatever. But I will say, because Jubilee released that unedited Patreon version or extended version of it or whatnot, they can be worked on. Because number one, she had lied on their platform saying that they had edited into our favor, which is not true because Jubilee had been known to lean more conservative in the editing.
No, they don't. Jubilee does. The whole point of Jubilee is middle ground, dude. Yeah, the editing, they try to edit their videos to help Democrats out, but they do that because the conservatives are always constantly kicking their ass. They had to figure out a way to make it so it's not one-sided, or else everybody would be conservative by the time it's done. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much what, that's the only reason why they edit in the favor of liberals. Jubilee is not conservative. Like, they're not. Or else they wouldn't bring on... What do you think? Well, they might be conservative because they bring people like Blossom on. So maybe she's on to something here. Maybe Jubilee is conservative. That's why they keep bringing Blossom on, because they know it's just going to make Democrats just look like the absolute worst.
And I do see exactly what people are saying. But I also think, too, probably what it is they just may have a more conservative-leaning audience, and they can't control their audience. Because this is about middle ground. You're supposed to find middle ground. But I think they attract more conservatives than they do liberals. And
because we like watching conservatives own the libs. Like, let's be honest. And if that's the perfect place to go and watch it happen. I can't think of any debate where the conservatives ever lost. Like I mentioned in my last video, I watched just to prove that it's all about the ideology and not the person. I watched conservative blacks versus white liberals, and the conservative black folks just absolutely wiped the floor. I'm going to do a video on that. That'll be a fun video to do, because there's a guy in there, and I think his name was Alex too, who absolutely has such a white savior complex he can't even get out of his own way. Even when the black people are like, you offend me with your takes, and he's like, I don't care, I'm here to protect you, I'm gonna save you whether you need saving or not. It's pretty gross stuff. But yeah, again, I think this might be the first point that Blossom's ever made that makes sense, because why else would they have her on there if not to make Democrats look like absolute foolish people? That's why Democrats don't even like that they're on there. Like, they do bring people like Destiny on, who I have respect for. I think Destiny makes a lot of points, but even he don't like Democrat. He's a liberal. He's a liberal only in the classic sense. Honestly, by all accounts, by today's standards, Destiny is a conservative.
Can't control. Now, I don't want to take away other people's experiences that have gone on that show, and it did lean in that way. But you kind of can't control anything or whatever. But what was so powerful about this was I told them, because they had asked for feedback after everything happened. And the thing is, let me make it very clear. I was at a Black Creative Summit by GLAAD. I was one of 150 people selected out of 500 Black queer creators.
Here we go. Her celebrating her achievements.
This summit to better myself as a Black creative.
What does this have to do with the debate?
Over the Friday and that Saturday.
Honestly, I'm going to skip ahead.
About missing Saturday, but something told me I need to show up for my community this day.
I'm just skipping it. I'm just skipping ahead because I can't take listening to this anymore. Like, she's destroying me, dude. She's destroying me in ways that I didn't know I could be destroyed.
I had never felt so disrespected by somebody that was just so unprofessional. And just somebody that is so despicable. I'll call Blair White despicable. That's literally how I feel.
And we'll call you despicable right back, Blossom.
You shouldn't call another trans person that da-da-da-da-da or whatever. Let's start addressing racism in our community.
Blair is not racist, dude. Blair is not a racist. You're just an idiot. That's it. You can't comprehend what Blair says, so you take it all offensively. I don't know. That's a pretty good. I'm gonna have to go through a couple of these screenshots and for the thumbnail and pick which one I like the best, because this is a pretty good one. I don't think I even need to tell you guys that Blair is not racist. I think you guys all know. I think that at this point we're just like making, Blossom's just talking nonsense. I'm going to skip ahead though, because I'm so over. I almost want to just go to Blair's video now and just listen to the rest of her side, because I feel like she absolutely has more to contribute, and I'm not here to like spread misinformation. I mean, I'm granted, like, I could talk about that other video all day, but I think you guys get the point, right? It's just them all like just propping up themselves. I could rip them apart, but I'm gonna let Blair rip them apart for you, and plus we'll get done this a whole lot faster.
Blossom, I know you are
Black.
So obsessed with race. I mean, my God.
Yeah. I mean, could you guys tell from like just the little bit that we were watching earlier? Could you tell that she was obsessed with race?
The obsession you had with race on a set that was about gender identity, I mean that's nuts in and of itself. And it's not to say that race can't come up as a topic in that debate, but your obsession with it and your insertion of it where it was completely irrelevant and unfitting, everyone saw that. But to even turn me, in your own head, calling you ugly, something that didn't happen, but even if it did, to insist that me saying you were ugly was born out of me saying it because you're black and because of your ancestry, when you were the only person on set at any point in time to bring up anyone's ancestry, when you said your little thing about my whiteness.
My blackness should not have to pay for your whiteness. That doesn't make sense.
That doesn't even make sense. It doesn't, though. How does anybody's blackness pay? Like, okay, say that it is a thing, right? How do we make that work? How do we make that even a thing? All right. Let's try and think of how we can make someone's blackness pay for someone's whiteness. So slavery. It's probably the only thing I can think of, slavery. But that hasn't existed in over 100 years. But yeah, I don't know. I can't make it work. I can't make the numbers number. You know what I mean?
I mean, again, just the projection is insane. So, I'm not saying this to sound mean right now, but if you really believe
it sucks that she even has to say that.
Ugly,
this is back to the ugly comment that we were talking about earlier.
It is not a stretch for me to imagine that is born out of you projecting how you feel about yourself and what you feel like you look like, and that would be a go-to for me to use. Because if I were to make up a lie about something you insulted me with, I wouldn't choose ugly. Because pick out any of my flaws, I actually don't think I'm ugly.
No, she's not. Actually, Blair's pretty damn hot, if I may say so myself.
In the video, I set her up for the perfect blow up.
I can't wait to hear Blair respond to this.
My blackness should not pay for your whiteness that's destroying my community.
So, you are gloating about an artificial, production coordinated mic drop moment of yours. A fake mic drop moment.
Yeah, I mean, she literally said straight up that I said that just to piss her off. So she doesn't even mean it. I mean, in a debate, she's clearly saying, like, I make up stuff to piss people off sometimes. Like, that is not a debate strategy. That the strategy will never work.
My blackness should not have to pay for your whiteness that doesn't make sense. Is destroying my community.
I'm destroying your community.
So are you gonna tell all of my exes
How are you gonna
that?
say that and then that's the end?
Mic drop moment because the producer cut her off because I love that she said that that's a mic drop moment. It's not a mic drop moment, dude. Like, that's the producer being like, Blossom, we have no idea what the hell you're saying, and we think that this is, like, just incredibly offensive.
So you shut me up when, in reality, it was production shutting me up by forcing the prompt to end. I mean,
there you go.
It's very telling.
You could tell Blair's a sound thinker because every point that I think of, Blair usually just says it right after me, and that's why I adore her so much. Because we both just have the same ideas all the time. Our whiteness is precious to us, and we don't want to cause anybody to suffer their blackness because of our whiteness, And Portuguese-ness and whatever isness is out there.
Of how you probably deep down somewhere within you really feel about your performance in that debate. That the standout moment that you are gloating about is one that you didn't actually even do. That you only achieved based on production setting it up.
Yep.
I mean,
it's only fair that we let Blair defend herself. Listen, tell him, Blair. You tell him, girl.
I don't want to get too angry in this video. I'm actually.
It's got yo, as angry as I've gotten in this video, I can only imagine how. There's my screenshot for her, dude. Yeah, right there. Bam, dude. Go ahead, Blair. Do your thing, girl. Work in that camera angle. But yeah, no, Blair. It sucks that Blair even has to do this, dude. Honestly, like, this is just such a waste of time for her.
For the only person who escalated things to violence on set to claim that her safety was in jeopardy at any point, who is also the biggest person in the room. If
I said that, linebacker for the Kansas City Chiefs.
To be that, right? And to say that I lied about you threatening me when the world has heard it, it is on camera, it is in audio form, it has been turned into clips.
Oh, it has been? I gotta see those.
We're reaching levels of delusion and bold dishonesty that shouldn't even be possible. And I would genuinely have some respect for Blossom if part of her little video here of trying to correct the record, she maybe said that what she meant wasn't how it came across, right? I still very much struggle, and trust me when I say I racked my brain to...
Yeah, I mean, that makes two of us, Blair. I mean, anytime Blossom says anything, we're just rack our brain trying to understand it, and it's like code. It's like code words for things that just don't exist. And oh my god, dude, like I think I've gone full mentally challenged at this point. Like I can't, dude. I can't do it no more. I can't. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I'm a Blair supporter now. I'm 100. I mean, I guess I support. We became one when I first reviewed the debate, but I would say full-fledged now. I'm gonna subscribe to her because I love what she has to say about things, and I'm gonna double down my support. And I think that a lot of you guys should too, because this girl needs all the support that she can get. She's actually the one helping the trans community. If anybody can break through and make trans a normalized thing, it's Blair White. I can only imagine how much Blair had to stop and just kind of collect herself going through this. If I had to do it this much and I wasn't even involved in the thing, I couldn't imagine. Like, okay, put yourself in Blair's position right now for a second, all right? You just did a whole debate where you wiped the floor with the other guys, and you're like, oh, yeah, you know, there's no way that they can go forward thinking what they thought because I did so well. I came prepared. I knew my stuff. I made my talking points strong. I even got them to a point of physicality. Just to go see your opponents release a video where they're celebrating like they just won the Super Bowl, like they owned you. That would have to get so far up your skin, and for Blair to be able to compose herself so much to be able to respond like this, like that speaks volumes about Blair in a positive light. But we're gonna go ahead and move forward. Alex and Shane have probably been told their whole life how brave they are, how amazing they are for being their true self, to the point where they believe that they were immortal almost and infallible. And when they met someone like Blair, who is basically just like them, that's why Blossom had to go to the race card, because that's all she had to go against Blair with, that she could claim victimhood. Blair didn't put up with any of it. Like, Blair called them out on all of their BS, and they're probably not used to that. So they didn't really have a response, and they fold it like paper, dude. They absolutely fold it like paper because they have no foundation to stand on. None of their points were correct. I can't think of a single point made by anybody in that argument on the liberal side that was accurate. Not one. And did you notice that Sasha wasn't there with them? Because Sasha was the one who wanted peace. I'm sure she was invited and probably said no. Or he was invited. I'm sorry, Sasha was invited and they said no. Like, that is the legitimate point that Blair is making right now, is that be careful. Like, I feel like Dylan Mulvaney would have the same result. Blair would just whoop him a new one.
That when it happened, you guys exploded. In fact, that's exactly what happened. You guys have that attitude throughout life, you can tell. And it works in those circles. The second Blossom throws out her black trans woman card, everyone in her life shuts down. And
there you go. Yep, I just said that.
Shane throws around his I help people all the time and I'm a savior complex. The second he throws that around, everyone bows down.
Yep.
The second Alexander says, I'm transgender and I'm struggling just like you, trans people who don't want to have a confrontation, which is most of them, shut down. You guys finally met someone who just didn't shut down when they encountered that behavior.
Thank God for that, Blair. Thank God for that. And that's where we'll end the video today, guys. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I will see you guys on the next one. Boy, this was a rough one, man. Like, my brain is just frazzle-dazzled, but you know, if you guys like these videos, I'll keep making them. If you guys like my commentary videos, we'll just keep doing it. You know, we'll do it. We'll do it live. we'll do it live. But with that said, thank you guys so much. And, this YouTube thing's kind of fun. If I'm not listening to people like Blossom every day, I might actually enjoy this. So if you guys have Jubilee episodes you want me to react to, write them in the comments. And with that said, I will see you guys on the next one. EG Lately out. Peace and love. Be good to yourselves.